Alright guys, I'm here with all this bread. The bakery's up and running. Let's get to it. Alright, so I'm about to build my Autolyse. First, I gotta get the mixture in place. I do it different ways. Today I'm gonna start with the water. I want to be able to just do a walk away type of Autolyse mix. So I got 4.5 liters of water. And I have a flour mix totaling 7.5 kilos. 6.56 kilos of bread flour, 560 grams of whole wheat, 375 grams of rye flour. And that's just all gonna go in. I have this set to 12.5 minutes. We're gonna do a quick mix of that. And while that's mixing, I just filled up my bassinage water. I'm gonna actually throw this in the freezer because it's the next thing to go in. There's my bassinage water right next to it. I just wanted to get cold for the mix. Trying to get something cohesive. If I need to help the bowl, I'll help the bowl. But I want to see what happens after 12.5 minutes, just like this. 60% hydration. Autolyse. It's going to total out to about 75% hydration, a little more with the starter. Yeah. I was gonna kind of go home. I did a lot in the past couple days, but I've been having starter issues, and I do want to just make sure I have them working out right. So basically, I think I was just kind of feeding it too much for how cold the place was. Getting used to the space, still new to me. But even with the starter I thought was totally shot, I still made a pretty good batch. I mean, it tasted great. So this is a good example of how much dough it really takes. Another reason you can't really use a timer unless you do the same exact method, the same exact amount of dough, same amount of flour, same type of flour. You know, because it's just always going to be different. So yeah. Here's some of so my timer's about to go off on me. Next step is my leaven. Should be somewhat chilled by now. Let's see what this thing is. It's like 56 degrees. Alright, so yeah. Now it's time to get this leaven in here. See, it's a nice strong leaven. It's not too runny. It's beautiful though. So this is roughly 1,500 grams of leaven. A good way for me to find out is with my mini scale. Temporarily empty out my trash bucket. I should have 100 grams left in here, so I can get some more. Let's see where we're at. 50 more. So that's in there. I'm gonna close this. And I'm gonna mix on speed 1 till it all comes together. Should take 5 minutes or so, something around that time. Alright. Let's add that salt in there. Got to really get in that dough. We're going to now mix on speed 2. We're going to start adding water little by little. Back to this. I added a good bit of water at once, so it's really going to take some time for it to all come back together. It's okay. Probably should have stopped the mixer for a second. see it start to pull off the sides of the bowl. I see a little ridge in the middle. I would say this can now rest for about 10 minutes. I'm gonna make sure to record. Alright guys, here's the dough after a 10-minute rest. I'm gonna wet my hands and get it onto the table. I'm gonna move the whole mixer over here. And then I'm gonna kind of just quickly, you know, shape it, give it a little bit of structure. After a 10-minute rest, this actually really will help your dough with some strength. Just in case I need a knife for this. Alright, for this part, let's... Should be something around 15 in kilograms. And again, so this is not, does not count as a fold. This is just a little and I was pretty dang close at 14.88. Four folds total, and I'm gonna do 2 stretch and folds and 2 coil folds. So first would be a stretch and fold, and then I'm gonna just pull real high and fold over. I did very lightly oil this tub, by the way. I used this spray bottle, you can see there, of water and olive oil. And that's our first fold. Put our lid back on. It's another stretch and fold. Stretches, folds 3 and 4. I do a coil fold to start to A, be a little more gentle than a stretch and fold, and B, I also want the top to start really becoming the top. This is a very nice dough, it feels like. Hope I didn't tear. Okay. What doing folds in these kind of parallel, perpendicular thing does is it starts to build your gluten network in that kind of grid versus kind of randomly. All right, I just did my 3rd coil fold and I missed, I forgot to hit record. Alright, so I'm now on the last and final fold, which is going to be a coil fold, which the stretch and folds I pulled up and then kind of dropped past the middle was the goal, stretch it as far as I can, fold it over the middle. A coil fold you pick up from the middle and it kind of coils under itself which you might be able to see here. I'm going to scoot this back a little bit. Once again, you got to wet your hands. You're going to grab in the middle. You're going to pick up until it releases. And do that again. You can see there's kind of that empty space down there. And once again, what this is doing is keeping the gluten network in a grid, kind of an XY method. And this coil fold is kind of a more gentle way to do this, to be honest. So now it's nice and strong. Also, what I love about a coil fold is that the top remains on top, where a stretch and fold, it kind of ends up in the middle of it all. I'm gonna have a 30-minute timer ready once I pre-shape that first one. So I think we're good to go here. It looks nice and jiggly. Sure my area is clean. All right. So first things first, I need a dough knife. And I'm actually probably gonna have it in the water here. That's my, you can see it's doughy from the stretch and folds. Pretty clean. Take it here for now. All right, so I'm going for about 830 gram doughs here. So I'm gonna wet one hand dry with the scraper, and I'm gonna kind of dough feels amazing. And now I'm going to set that timer. You can see how this has a pretty straight line here. That indicates good strength. And strength doesn't only come from the stretch and folds, it also comes from the starter. So a good example, the dough I did earlier today definitely was Start by dusting everything. Just want to make sure the whole surface of all this is good here. Alright, beautiful. And I'm going to start final shaping with the first one I pre-shaped. And I'm basically going to pull up these sides out and over. 1, 2, back, and I'm going to stitch across. Just like that. Same thing over here.
And I'm bringing tension back to me. One thing is, if you let gravity do the work, you can get that first fold. These are looking like some beautiful loaves here. Take advantage of the sticky spots when you can. Those are what help you build tension. You don't want to lose that nice area you got in there. This is the last one here for those. Now I'm sticking to your Bensons. Now I'm sticking to each other. So speaking of which, let's get these going.
cheeses are absolutely amazing. Alright, I just want to go around the rim just a little more. See how that does. I'm learning. And that feels like my best baguette I've ever done. Today, and I'm going to turn the heat off as soon as I get enough steam in there. So almost stuck. And I can feel the moisture in here. So another reason why you guys should be drying your bannetons if you don't already know that. I dry them upside down, just like so. But I'm lefty, so I kind of start from the left over here. I'm gonna score everything the same way, just to be safe. So, as far as pre-steaming it, I'm gonna do it before I score it, so I can kind of score and go right in. And then I'm gonna go to 5 on steam. So I'm gonna, okay. Now I'm gonna go to steam 5. Make sure we're closed here. I'm gonna score all of these. I'm trying something new. I'm going real light all the way across. Feels great. And on these last few, I kind of went straight up the middle. All right, so now I'm gonna load everything nice and fast. Start with the top. And the bottom. I'm going to close that door, and I'm going to steam it for 5 more seconds and open this thing up just to be safe. Once the steam's done, I'm going to turn off the heat element and kind of let the stone do its thing. And at 11:47, we'll be able to get a better look at this. So the dough looks fantastic. It looks like I'm about to get a nice ear on every single one of these. So I want to get a cool time lapse for you guys. So I'm going to try to set up this speed rack. That's to get all of them. All right. So now I'm gonna do 2 things. I'm gonna open the damper, which is gonna let some steam out. I got a little thing to try to catch the drips. And I'm also going to open the door and just let a lot of it out at once, almost immediately. There we go. And now 15 to 20 minutes later, it should be the perfect color. But look at that. I mean, these are all absolutely gorgeous. I think that one in the back over there, if you could see it, and this guy are my two favorite, but they are all beautiful. I can't wait to see the crumb on these guys. And I learned exactly what I need to do heat-wise on this oven. So if you see, these got probably the least explosion up top, and also were the last ones to really erupt. These got a medium level of explosion, still really good, but compared to these super explosive ones, this got just a little less. And these were first, these were second, these were third. So there's an element under this stone, an element up here, an element that controls this stone's heat, this one controls this stone's heat, and then you got a ceiling up here. So it looks like I have one of two options. Is I'm at my max temperature, so I can cut the bottom, cut the middle a little bit, and then leave these. So I probably do minus 10% on bottom stone percent, minus 5% on deck 3, or maybe even minus 15%, minus 10%, minus 5% possibly. I'm not sure. But yeah, I basically need to figure out a way to even these out and make it make sense. So I know that heat does kind of rise. I got to see what browns first, because that'll tell me whether the top elements are there or not. But then again, they are all kind of turned off, so I can almost exclude this top element from anything but preheating. I'm thinking on camera with you guys. Yeah, so I could drop this 10%, drop this one 5%, and that should even it out. And it might just take a little longer to get the full expansion, but it should be right around the 20-minute mark. That kind of looks like where we were at here. So I think that top back left looks like my favorite one, actually. But yeah, I'll come back when they're done and I'm pulling them out. All right, so this bread was in here for a very long time, not going to lie. While I was time-lapsing, I cooked for, I did 22 minutes with steam, opened the door, closed it. I did not turn the heat on. I should have, so it dropped a few more degrees, but not too much. I opened the door a second time to get more steam out, closed it, turned the heat on. What I should have done is opened it one time, turned the heat on. It wouldn't have dropped so much, so I wouldn't have to cook it 40 minutes without steam. Nonetheless, I think we got some beautiful loaves. I do want to try to get these out. I'll just do it the old-fashioned way. So these are good. I'm going to just turn the light on. Look at these bad boys. This oven is gangster. And yes, I could fit more of these on the loading deck, but I just want to make sure I see what's top and bottom. I actually need to reheat this, I'm sorry, because I'm about to cook more, some focaccia and whatnot. So this is the bottom oven. Let's see. Super hollow, super crusty. Let's get a listen. I mean, these things are gorgeous. I'm gonna definitely take a picture. Let's see what they look like from over here. I mean, that's beautiful. See, what's the prettiest loaf? This is pretty beautiful. They're nice, dark, and crusty. The bottoms look good, and there's no no burn. Same color as the top, all the way around. I mean, they're really good. So the bottom was the quickest to expand, then the middle was, and then the top. So what I think I'm gonna do is drop this bottom oven, the bottom stone 10%, drop the middle stone 5%. That way I'm not going up and messing with the elements, because I want to respect the max temperature of this. So again, oh, can't really do it that way. So. I try to respect top, middle, bottom. These are my best loaves I may have ever baked. I mean, part of it is the first time I ever got to really use a bread oven at all, correctly at least. I will say, shout out to Tom from the sourdough journey. Shout out to Matthew James Duffy. I mean, look at that. Hopefully I can maybe teach you guys something about pizza and we can make it even. I gotta get the what have yous out of here. These things can be hot. Alright. I close the damper. I just want to make sure I can fill this thing up to the top, and we're good there. Alright, hasn't cooled all the way. That's okay. Let's see see how this bad boy does through the crumb. Ready? That's beautiful. Some of my best bread ever right there. I love that. Feel the insides nice and moist. It's beautiful. Nothing like it. I'm a little hungry too, so I'm gonna take some.
Mm.